Hello everybody, this is Abby Normal and welcome to Cupid, a free visual novel game I found on Steam. Let us get into it. No, keep it on. Because, you know, I would turn it off and all, but, you know, that would mean more editing. Oh, shit! Oh, it's so loud. Oh, Jesus Christ, I was not expecting that. Okay. Return. Now, I've been given a warning, I've been given a warning for this game that it contains some very mature content, and I'm gonna say it might be upsetting for some people. So I'll put the description down below, and if you want to watch it being played, then I'm gonna go ahead and do it. But I just thought I'd warn you. Let's get into it, babies. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. There's no need to explain, it's only natural. A mother loves her daughter more than anything else in the world. He hates you, doesn't he? Though a whole lot of them despise you, don't they? Chasing you into the forest and gouging a hole into your leg. All because you smiled at their husbands. And you know what? You deserve it. You freak. You disgusting, horrible, filthy little girl. Didn't I tell you to stay away from them? You never listened. Serves you right for being the dirty girl you are. But you don't have to worry, my darling. It's all right. Even if the whole world wishes you dead, I promise you this. Your mother will always be by your side. That's probably what it was. That's probably what would have been upsetting, because Jesus Christ. My goodness, child, whatever has happened to you? Oh, a girl was slumped in the doorway, soaked by the rain. Her legs were covered in dirt and blood. She lifted her head upon hearing the priest's voice and stared at him with blank eyes. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. She hobbled forwards, her bloodied leg giving way. Automatically, the priest rushed forward to steady her. Years of spiritual training had prepared him for the most unexpected guest to his church. He sprang into action. He ushered her to a pew, brought out some clean cloth and antiseptic, and began to bandage the wound on her leg. Yet throughout all this, he found that he couldn't take his eyes off of her. He would be gazing at the roll of bandages in his hand, deciding how to tie them, and then out of nowhere he would be staring into her eyes. Even with all the mud and grime smeared across her face, he couldn't deny that she was absolutely beautiful. How old was she? 20, 18, 16? Her face was so young. The priest had long since aged past his desire for the opposite sex, but somehow something about her enraptured him. When he realized his own thoughts, he quickly steered his mind towards other matters. My child, what happened to you? She seemed to take all the time in the world before responding. He looked at me. He looked at me and he touched me. And then he started to kiss me. At first the priest didn't understand. Then he realized with a jolt of anger what she meant. It was happening more and more often nowadays. The young men of Fancy days were spirited, uncontrollable ruffians. A lady walking home by herself one night would be prey to a few number of them. Lust. One of the 7 deadly sins. The one that the priest personally despised the most. Furrowing his brow in sorrow, the priest laid a hand on her thigh. You are safe now, child. God's house is a sanctuary for the faithful. You don't think he'll protect me? He looked at her in confusion. You see, Father, I have sinned again. Right there among the pews before the altar of God, she bowed her head. I'm sorry. Was she apologizing to him or to someone else? Her hair hid her face and her eyes, and the priest could make neither head nor tail of her. He suddenly realized that his hand was still on her thigh, and he hurriedly drew it away. I'm sorry. She repeated this phrase over and over, and after a while the priest got up. Don't fret, child, you're not to blame. I will contact the local constable, but in the meantime you are free to make yourself at home here. I will fetch you a hot drink. He patted her hand and left to go to the back room. She remained seated on the pew, her head bent forward. As the priest's footsteps faded away, the entire church fell into silence. Okay. Now that it was the dead of the night, the clouds covered the sky. Barely a sliver of moonlight filtered through the stained glass. The girl sat alone in a ring of darkness. She opened her mouth. No, I know. If I may say my piece, surely. Yes. Yes, Mother. But he is so very kind. I do. Child, follow Mother's words and leave. You saw the look in his eyes, didn't you? You cannot stay here. Even a man of God can stain you with the filthiest colours. Be a good girl and follow Mother's words. But it is cold outside, Mother. The rain has not let up. Can't I stay? All right. No, it's not. Yeah, it'll be fine. I suppose you can. But you must be wary of everyone in the church. Do you understand? Can I go? Oh, hang on, wait. I'm going to save. Sorry to break it, guys, but I just needed to know that I could go back, because that might change the whole game, so. You are so weak, my darling. You give my heart so much pain. I'm sorry, Mother. I will try my best to stay out of trouble. How am I going to mind you like this? You attract so much misfortune everywhere you go. I don't really want to talk to her like that. I really don't. Even though I have a feeling that this is exactly how the mother would speak to her. Jesus Christ. My stupid little girl. Always a blight, aren't you? Whatever will you do without me? Sorry, Mother. Thank you for always guiding me. It is all my fault. The girl sat in silence. Mother was right. After all, she was always right. Everything was her fault. Her fists shook with a mixture of fear and conviction. She had to do penance. Mother, give me strength. There is something I wish to do. The girl rose from the pew. In front of the altar, and on top of the altar, was an ornately decorated cross. It was as wide as her head, and the tip of the cross had been crafted such that it was razor sharp. Oh no. She left the pew, knelt briefly, and then walked over to the altar. Don't tell me. You're quite sure you're doing this? The girl's arm trembled ever so slightly. What other way is there for me to atone? She picked up the cross. Oh, my darling daughter, Mother is proud of you. Slowly she brought the sharp edge close to her face, so close that it hovered just above her left eye, and then she Oh. Chapter 1. The Star and the Rose. That was only the... Jesus Christ. Oh! Already, like, not liking the theme. Not like the theme of the game, but like the theme of the characters for the game. A scruffy young girl in tattered clothes peeked through the open gates of Chateau de Semel. I cannot speak French. An afternoon gothic was being held in its gardens. I'm guessing that means party. People from high-class estates strolled through the manicured gardens while chatting loudly from one another. There were beautiful ladies clad in silk and velvet, their necks adorned with pearls and jewels. An assortment of foods was displayed all over the tables, and the girl stared at the food. She hadn't eaten properly for the past few days. You hungry child, we must not linger. Yeah. We must not linger in this place any longer. I detest it. Surely we can look around for a bit. It's still a little early. There was something else that called to her, other than the party itself. She walked to and fro from the gates, peeking at the crowd despite the urgings of her mother to leave. Just a tiny glance would be enough. The girl smiled at the thought of him. The owner of the chateau, the Marquis de Goulle. The girl was drawn to him. He wasn't the same as other people. He seemed different somehow. He was kind to her and would always hand her food when she delivered flowers. Her heart felt at ease with him. I don't really want to be talking to her like this, because it's not... It's the mother's voice, but you have to imagine what type of person would have to go through such emotional trauma that they would hear this voice speaking to them as their parent. And I do not care for him. I do not care for him. But I wish he would stop ogling some men like a common whore. I just want to see him, Mother. What for? What good does his presence do you? He makes me feel that there are still good people in the world, Mother. There are no more good people in the world. It is hard to say. It is hard to say, of course, dear. We do not know the real intentions people have. One can hope that real charity exists, but even good people always put their needs first. Even your precious Sparky. Don't you think I'm a good person, Mother? Oh, because she's speaking to herself, and it's in her mother's voice, so it's either her thoughts as she believes her mother would say it, or it's her making up what she believes her mother would say. And that, I don't know what's more upsetting. Of course, child, you are special. Haven't I raised you as such? I have tried my best, my dearest. Yes, Mother, you keep me right. I love you. The girl stared at her shoes and looked around for a bit, hoping for just a glance before she left. And there he was. There is no harm in looking, she reasoned. She would never enter the Marquis's world. Let her heart be filled with hope. He turned his eyes in her direction. Did he smile at her? The girl's heart stopped. Did he recognize her? She beamed. My, is this creature deaf as well as dumb? It might be, poor thing. Mademoiselle, a voice called to the rose girl. She gasped. It seemed that somebody else had noticed her presence. She turned to leave. No, no, my dear, poor little creature, don't run away. Charlotte, she stinks. Don't touch her. Came to crash the party, little urchin. Are you hungry? Her stomach gave a low grumble. She was always hungry, it seemed, no matter how much or how little she ate. Encouraged by the kindness the Marquis had shown her, the girl approached the women. She teetered towards their table. What are you selling? Look at this poor creature. Is she selling roses? These are all ugly ones, but not as appalling as the rag she covers herself in. Are you trying your best to be this repulsive? Now don't be mean, Antoinette. Perhaps it's the commoner fashion nowadays. They laughed while gawking at her and her wares. My, she only has one eye. Oh, ghastly, but I can't look away. The other lady nodded her head. Like a sideshow attraction, you mean? The freaks at the carnivals? She's darling in her own dirty, monstrous way. Maybe we can keep it. Hello. Do you want some bread, urchin? Well, speak up. Maybe her tongue is too short. Add that to the list of her sterling qualities. Quiet, Antoinette. Come on, don't be shy. Do you want some food? Let us hear you speak. Yes, madame. What? Yes, madame, I would be very grateful. One of the ladies clapped in mockery at her reply. Oh, she talks! The ladies handed her the bread, but it was snatched away just before her fingers grazed it. Not before you dance for us first. Oh, make her do a handstand. I've seen one of those people, or those street people do that. Quite marvellous. Now I'd like to see that. This party is getting pretty boring. Well, come on, ma bête. Ma bête? Is that... Oh, hang on. It's beauty. So I don't know how to say beauty in French, so it's my beauty. Dance for your food. The girl looked at the beautiful, cruel faces of the women. That look on them. It was a burning desire to hurt something simply because they could. She knew that look. Oh. Before they touched her and hurt her, they had that look burning in their eyes. Look what you did, Claudette. She's shivering like a leaf, poor thing. The lady was laughing as she said those words. I didn't do anything. She should be grateful we're even offering her this much. Besides, these commoners are supposed to be jolly in their misery. Come on, girl. Show us your joy. The girl moved away as they laughed. Mother, please save me. Mother. Didn't I tell you to leave? Didn't I tell you people are cruel? Haven't I taught you this time and again? People are cruel. Now you see it firsthand. Hey there. Oh, a child's voice. I gave it a bit madly. Sorry about that, sweetheart. A child's voice called out from behind her. It belonged to a girl around 7 with chubby cheeks and a look of curiosity in her eyes. She wore an old blue dress, somewhat patched at the corners, but kept clean and tidy. She was not rich, but she had an air as if she owned the ground she stood on. Another commoner. This party's absolutely teeming with them. The Marquis loves these things. Head picks them randomly from the street. Maybe I should get me one too. Do you think it's fashionable abroad, in his birth country, I mean? Persia? No, I heard he was from India. I'd remember he's a bastard son of a Greek queen. Goodness, that is so far-fetched. Could barely pronounce his name, though. We should change it to something more acceptable. Who knows what kind of demons he might attract with such a blasphemous name. Must be why all these nasty, horrid little creatures flock around him. Oh! Devil or not, I'll forgive him if he kisses my hand. The ladies laughed. Salope, aren't you shameless? Don't lie, we all know why you're here. The ladies gossiped among themselves, openly ignoring the girl. The young girl took the slighting with a shrug. She approached the table and asserted her presence. What you doing? Goodness, they don't take a hint, do they? Throw something shiny, it might distract them. Hey, you've been holding that bread for a long time. Aren't you going to give it to her? She pointed at the shabby rose vendor. Why do you care? Do you want the bread for yourself? I bet she's hungry too. I know, maybe we should toss the bread and see if they'll fight for it. The ladies laughed to themselves. The girl stared at them with confusion. Her brow was furrowed in a childlike understanding. Oh shit. Next thing everyone knows, she'd swipe the bread from the woman's hand. My... How rude! Horrible, filthy girl. Give that back. The girl sniffed the piece of bread and nibbled at the surface. Yum. Oh, it's still warm. She shoved the bread in the urchin's face. The scrumptious scent of bread flooded the rose girl's nose. Lick it, the sugared butter tastes so good. No, you devil child, you give that back. The urchin licked it. Her tongue was coated in sweetness. She stood there, squeezing the taste in her tongue. The girl grinned at her, but she couldn't help but grin back. Sorry. Here you go, it's all yours. Ugh, disgusting. Not going to eat anything that's been in your filthy mouths. Well, so this is ours now. Oh, you ladies are so nice. Cheeky little brat. I'll have you thrown out of this party. I'll have you... Hey, baby. A young man strode to the commotion. A sweet scent lingered as he passed. The rose girl felt her mouth well up. His presence filled her body, almost as if her hunger was abated. She blushed furiously. What a strange effect he had. Ladies? Oh, sir. I just came to check in on my esteemed guests. Is everything all right? Are you enjoying yourselves? One of the ladies started fanning herself with obvious annoyance. Well, these little beasts have been harassing us. Yes, my lord. We were just minding our own business when this girl swiped the food off our table. Horrible little nits. The girl stuck out her tongue at them. A lady wiped her eyes and mock tears. See? Look at that. It's absolutely monstrous how these children act around adults now. There's no respect, monsieur. I worry for the next generation. Oh, Charlotte, don't cry. Oh, my lord, we would all breathe a little easier if those children were sent on their way. Yes, who knows what kind of mischief they might be up to. They might set fire to the tables, you see. Oh? Or steal our jewellery. In fact, I think my pocket watch is missing. No. How unfortunate. One of the ladies continued her childish wailing. It is, monsieur. It is unfortunate how you allow your important guests to be treated this way. Please deal with these vermin. They'll throw them out now. Oh, my sweet ladies, I am stricken with grief at your misfortunes. Allow me to offer my heartfelt apologies. Unfortunately, this child is my important guest today, and you are, sad to say, poultry squatters. Excuse me? Madame Charlotte of Montpellier? I don't remember sending you an invite. Same for you, Lady Antoinette and Lady Claudette. Most people I invited are huge patrons of music. That is why they are here today. They came to listen to Mademoiselle Catherine Louise Parade. She is the 7-year-old piano prodigy who played for the Queen last summer. The man pointed at the girl busy chewing her half of the bread. The rose girl just stared at the unfolding situation. Well, that's... I am sure you were aware of that, were you not? No matter. I am always happy to see you, ladies. It is my pleasure to have you here. But I hope you don't mind giving some of the food away to my townspeople. That is why I keep my gates open. My servers are instructed to serve anyone who passes by, not just my guests. But don't you fret, my darlings. There is plenty more to be served. The ladies blushed in embarrassment. One of them began to fan herself even faster. Excuse me. The Marquis walked up to the two girls. The rose girl's heart beat so fast it made her head feel light and dizzy. She had never been this close to him. It made her feel a mixture of fear and elation. Lady Catherine, your father has been looking for you. I don't know what happened to my voice just sorry. It was almost time for your performance. The girl looked up at her Marquis and did a little curtsy. My apologies, sire. I didn't want to cause a clatter. He chuckled. Saw the whole thing, ma chérie. You put those ladies in their place. They were being very mean to her. He narrowed his eyes at the quiet girl. She hid behind her basket of roses. She couldn't look at him directly. He was like the sun. It hurt just to be in his presence. Yet there was relief in her heart as he stepped closer to her. I've seen you before, haven't I? The rose girl nodded and made a curtsy. I deliver roses to your house sometimes, sire. Yes. Girl with the sweetest face. The rose girl blushed. I love your roses, by the way. They stay fresh longer than they should. You've tended to them with love. Thank you, sire. Do you have a name, young lady? What's the matter? It is all right, young lady. If you would rather... Oh, let's call her Rosa. Rosa. It fits her. I think she forgot her name. Oh, she lost it. The Marquis nodded wisely. A valid point. Are you all right with that, Rosa? Yes. Come on, Rosa. You watch me play, right? Aye. Her eyes darted from the girl to the Marquis. Oh, so Gilly doesn't mind. Gilly? He's really nice to me and to my family. And he helps people around town too. He won't throw you out. The Marquis held his right hand in the air as if swearing an oath. I won't. See? Come on, you're invited now. You're my special guest. There's plenty of food inside too, Rosa. Please help yourself. Thank you, sire. Rosa is coming! Yay! Now this is my first public performance, Rosa. I am a bit nervous. Catherine scratched her head. What will I do if I make a mistake? Papa will be very upset. Marquis knelt in front of Catherine and rubbed her shoulders fondly. You won't make a mistake, ma chérie. As long as you put your heart into the keys. Play to touch your audience, and any mistakes won't matter. Do you understand? Catherine stared at the Marquis. Not really. The man chuckled. You will someday. Just play your first song with me in your mind, will you? Something that you think will make me smile. He held Catherine's clear young eyes in his gaze. I was wondering what he was holding. He kissed her hand. It was covered with sticky sugar and breadcrumbs. Catherine blushed. It was the first time she looked embarrassed by anything. It would be my pleasure, sir. Catherine trudged up the wooden podium and walked towards the middle of the stage, and the crowd's chatter died down. She curtsied in front of her audience, waved to her father, and stole a glance. I don't know how to say his name. What did you say, Gilly? Gilly's the nice name. The man gave her a tiny nod. She sat down in front of the piano, admiring the cream and ebony keys beneath her fingers. Her own piano was broken and beaten. Father had sold his horse for it. Oh. The A3 key never played, and the strings would creak when it was cold, but it had never failed her, and she knew the keys like they were her own fingers. She whispered to the new piano softly, as if coaxing a beautiful untamed animal. Let's be friends, okay? She saw Rosa at the far end of the podium, watching her diligently. There was a renewed vigour in her blood. She could hear the keys calling out to her. A song that would make him smile. She placed her fingers on the keys and began to play. wasn't me opening a Pringles can, I swear. Sorry. I'm that person in the movie theatre who tries to be quiet. At the ring of the first few notes, it became apparent to the audience that this girl was something special. Here was a little girl, barely tall enough to reach the pedals of the piano, playing as if she owned it. There were times she'd miss a note or two, but that didn't matter. She played the song to make someone smile, and it touched everyone present. Her musical skill was far beyond her years. Her fingers caressed the keys as if she was making a flower crown, carefully weaving the petals. She knew the correct way to tie the leaves so they wouldn't tear, like all smart girls did. As the piano sang onto her hands, Catherine seemed to disappear right in front of the audience's eyes. She was just a vision after all, somebody leading them down a dream. A dream of a garden, the springtime, the shade of a tree on a windy day. The couples in the audience tightened their grip on the hands of their partners. Some closed their eyes and let the music saturate their soul. Sweet memories of youth, a first love, the yawn of a newborn. Rosa's eyes shone as she stared at Catherine. Her heart was captured by this image of her. A young girl swaying her head to the music, smiling as the notes poured out to her. She couldn't take her eyes away from Catherine's glowing face. What was this happiness? Was this love? She looked like she was in love. And she was, wasn't she? In her innocence, she was still in love with life. In love with her family, with her pets, in love with every new discovery. She was full of hope. It was a bittersweet feeling for Rosa. A happy teardrop rolled down her cheek. She wanted to warm herself in that hope if she could. In the audience, Gilly and Catherine's father sat beside each other. "Sire, your daughter is amazing." "Ah, she is, isn't she? I mean, pardon my ignorance, my liege. I'm a very proud father, you see." "No pardon necessary, sire." "Has she found a sponsor yet?" "The Duke of Versailles once spoke to me about it, but we have not made any arrangements." "Then I must steal her away as soon as possible." "Sire?" "I'd like to be Catherine's primary sponsor, if that is all right with you." "Why, sire!" "And to further cement my status, the piano she is playing right now? It is hers. I've bought it for her." Francois's eyes opened in astonishment. "I hope that's how you say Francois." "That is..." Francois gulped. "That is beyond generous, sire." Gilly smiled. "Well, I must make it hard for you to refuse me, you see." "I took the opportunity of asking you outright. You see, the Duke might offer an extravagant piano plated in gold. In that case, I have no choice but to humbly concede." "What?" "I'm kidding. The Duke of Versailles is the worst miser you will ever meet." The men chuckled. "Of course I shall be paying for her musical touring as required, along with an ample stipend to accommodate your family." "You don't have to look surprised, monsieur. Your daughter is a star. There is an effervescence about her that enraptures the soul." "Oh, I just realised his face moves. Oh, there is no doubt in my mind that she will succeed." "Oh, thank you deeply, my liege." "Please call me my name, monsieur. Let me remind you, this generosity isn't without charge. Her tutoring will be done at my house. I want to monitor her progress. Apart from that, I'd very much like Catherine to visit me and play from time to time. Music is one of my true passions. Her presence would benefit my mood tenfold." "Of course, sire. That is a small price to pay for all your offers." "On the contrary, monsieur. You don't have to decide now. Kindly think about it." "Thank you, my lord." "Sire." Gilly. After the performance, Catherine and Rosa went to the Marquis garden to play. Francois and Gilly lingered on the table, sorting out the details of Catherine's further education. And on that note, before I even introduce this wonderful character, I'm going to leave it here. This is a very charming story. I like it so far, and I really hope it doesn't go dark and wrong, because I'll get upset. But I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!